A good Erev Shabbos, everyone, and a freilichen Chanukah as we are holding an awesome day of Zois Chanukah, a time of a final Chasima, and we know by Yiddishkeit we have the Yesod of Akol Hoylech Achar Achsaim. Everything goes according to the finale, so it's good to chaperayim a little bit, to learn more Torah now, and to have in mind it should be Megan a Matzah Kesuris B'fnei Peroniyos. To be Mekayim the mitzvah, have in mind for the safety of Klal Yisrael and those that are in harm's way in Milchama, and the hostages and those that are wounded, they should have a refuah. We are sponsored by the Fisher family, the Nishmas Basi Bas Rabbi Shlomo ben Avram Alevi, Perel Bas Ruvain. We also learn the Nishmas Avram Dov ben David, the refuah Shalema for Yomis ben Chayesar, for the schus of Avram and Yom Benish ben Malki Yudas and family, for Yol Klugman and family, Meir ben Chayesar, Avigdaya ben Rivka, Baruch Hashem Reb Ruvain Ish Tzom, Shalom Ruvain ben Shima. They should all have a refuah Shalema b'Seich Sharcha Yisrael. Now, in order to understand the next Mishnah, we should know that in any union where there is either a cherish or a chereshes, the union is only d'Rabbanan. And therefore, Shnei Achim Chershim, if you have two brothers, Reuven and Shimon, who are both deaf mutes, Nesuin l'shtei achoyes cheroshes, who are married to two deaf mute sisters, Rachel and Leah. It really makes no difference, because once the two brothers, Reuven and Shimon, are chershim, so the marriage is only going to be d'Rabbanan. So either the two sisters, Rachel and Leah, are also deaf mutes, or Rachel and Leah, the two sisters are both healthy, or Rachel and Leah, achas chareshes, achas pikachas. Or the other way around, where it's the sisters that are both charashes. Or Rachel and Leah are charashes, nesuin, and now it makes no difference what Reuven and Shimon are, whether l'shnei achim pikrim, Reuven and Shimon are both healthy, or l'shnei achim charashin, or Reuven and Shimon are both deaf mutes, or l'shnei achim, or one of them is deaf mute and one of them is pikeach, echad cherish, echad pikeach. And one of them dies, Reuven dies childless. So Rachel falls to Shimon, who is married to her sister, and since both marriages are d'Rabbanan, it has the same strength, so she goes out as achas ishtai, p'turas min hachalitza min hayibam. Now, in the event that it's not Rachel and Leah, it's Sarah and Yocheved. They're not sisters. So in such a case where Reuven dies, now since one of them is a deaf mute, chalitza is not possible, because even though we said that the kriya is not ma'akev, but it has to be ro'i labila, it has to be potential for kriya, and therefore the Shimon has to be miyabim, and since it's only d'Rabbanan, therefore, because remember one of them is a cherish, so it's only d'Rabbanan, therefore if he wants to divorce her, he can divorce her, because kashem shenichnas b'ramiza ken yikansu b'ramiza. Now, the next Mishnah deals with a little bit more of a serious problem. Shnei achim echad cherish ve'echad pikeach. Reuven and Shimon, one of them is a deaf mute, and one of them is healthy. Nesuyin l'shtei achayos pikres. They're married to two sisters, Rachel and Leah, who are both healthy. Now, if Reuven was the cherish, and Reuven dies, now there's no problem. Meis cherish. So then, in this case, Meis cherish bala pikachas, if Reuven, who was married to Bikachas, dies, and that was only a marriage to Rabbanan, Ma Yasa Pikech Bala Pikachas. Oh, that's a perfectly strong marriage, and therefore Rachel now falls to Shimon, who's married to her sister. So she goes out because it's Achas Ishtoi, Teitzei Mishum Achas Isha, and it's Patim and a Chalitza and a Yibam. That's an easy case. But here comes the problem. If Reuven was married to Sarah and Reuven was the healthy man, so Meis Pikech Bala Pikachas, Reuven was married to Rachel, and now Reuven dies. And now Rachel falls to Shimon, who only has a marriage d'Rabbanan with Leah, because although Leah is healthy, he's a cherish. So therefore, his marriage is not strong enough to push away Rachel as an achis ishtoi. So there's Zika now. So now, ma yasa cherish bal pikachas. So here's the problem. He can't remain with his wife because since there's a Zika now from Rachel, and his marriage is not strong enough to push her away, so his wife becomes an achos kukasai. So moitzi ishta beget, he sends away his wife Leah with a get. But now it's further problem. He of course can't marry b'miyabim Rachel because it's a achas ishtay midrabanan. In this case, it's grushas ishtay midrabanan achos grushasai. He can't be give a chalitza because the cherish can't give chalitza, and therefore Rachel is forbidden forever. Or at least until Shimon dies. Shnei achim pikkim. If you have two brothers, both Reuven and Shimon are healthy. Nesuyin l'shtei achayis, married to two sisters, Rachel and Leah. Achas kareshes v'achas pikachas. One is a deaf mute, and one is healthy. So, meis pikach bala chareshes. If Reuven dies, who is married to Rachel, who was Chereshes, and she falls to Shimon and Leah, who are both healthy, so that's easy. Rachel goes out as an achasisha. If Reuven, who's married to the healthy sister, dies, what should Shimon, who is healthy, married to the Chereshes do? Now, in this case, the marriage with Leah is not strong enough to push away Rachel that falls from a marriage d'oraisa. So moitzi es ishtoi beget. He has to send away his wife with a get. But now, since he's healthy, he could give Rachel chalitza. At least she doesn't have to be also forever. Shnei achim echad cheresh ve'echad pikeach, l'suin l'shtei achoyis achat skarashes ve'achas pikachas. Now here we have like-minded people are married. Reuven is married to Rachel. Reuven is a cheresh, and Rachel is a chereshes, and Shimon is a pikeach, married to Leah, who's a pikachas. So in such a case, meis cheresh bal chereshes, as I said, if Reuven dies, who is married to Sarah, that's no problem. Because since Reuven dies, who's married to Rachel, it's no problem, because their marriage is only drabbanan, and it falls to a healthy marriage. Shimon and Leah are both healthy. That's an easy situation. Meis pikeach bal pikachas. But if Reuven is married to Sarah, and he's healthy and she's healthy, and Reuven dies, and now Sarah falls to Shimon and Leah, who are both cherishes. No good, because their marriage to Rabbana is not strong enough to push away the Zika Daraisa of Rachel. So Shimon is going to have to divorce his wife Leah. He's not going to be able to be miyabim Rachel because it's achos grushasai, nor is he going to be able to do chalitza to Rachel because a cherish can't give a chalitza, and therefore ve'eshes achiv asur l'olam Rachel is forbidden forever. Now, shnei achim echad cherish ve'echad pikeach. You have two brothers. One is a deaf mute. One is healthy. Nesuin l'shtei nachriyos pikchas, that are married to Sorin Yecheved, who are both healthy. So now let's set up the case. Meis cheresh bal pikachas. If Ruvain, who was married to Sarah, remember both women are healthy. So Ruvain is the cheresh who was married to Sarah, dies, and Sarah falls now to Shimon. Remember that Shimon is Pikeach. Now here, there's no problem. He could do whatever he wants. He could do Yibam if he wants. He could do Chalitza if he wants. But what happens if Meis Pikeach Bal Pikachas? What happens if Ruvain, who is married to the healthy girl, Rachel, well, they're both girls are healthy, but what happens if Ruvain, the healthy man, who is married to Sarah, the healthy girl, dies? What should the deaf mute who's married to Yecheved do? Well, he can't give chalitza, he could only give her yibam. Kaines, now since she's falling from a marriage daraisa, it wasn't a marriage beremiza, therefore he marries her, but he could never divorce her. This Mishnah keeps on going, but with this Mishnah we finish the parak. Shnei achim pikchim, two brothers that are healthy. Reuven and Shimon are both healthy. Nesuim l'shtei nachriyos, they are married to two girls. Sorin Yecheved. Achas pikachas, one is healthy, but achas chereshes, one is a deaf mute. Meis pikach bal chereshes, and remember they're not related. It's Sorin Yecheved, it's not Rachel and Leah. So Meis pikach bal chereshes, the pikach dies, married to Sarah, who's a chereshes. Ma yasa pikach bal pikachas. What could Shimon do? So he can't give chalitza because he can't give chalitza to a chereshes. So kaines, he could marry her, and since she's coming only from a marriage d'Rabbanan, and therefore v'mratza loitzi yaitzi. Meis pikach bala pikachas. But if the pikach bala pikachas dies, that means that Ruvain was married to Sarah and she was healthy. Ma yasa pikach bal chereshes. What could the pikach do who's married to the chereshes? No problem. Oy chalitz, oy miyam. You could either do chalitza or yibam. Now, shnei achim, echad cheresh ve'echad pikach. You have two brothers. One is a cheresh and one is a pikach. Reuven and Shimon. One is a cheresh, one is a pikach. Nesuyin l'shtei nachriyos, married to two women, Sarah and Yecheved. Achas chereshes v'achas pikachas. So Reuven, who is a cheresh, marries Sarah, who's a chereshes, and Shimon, who is a pikach, marries Leo's pikachas. So meis cheresh bal chereshes. If Reuven, the cheresh, dies, and the chereshes, Sarah, falls to Shimon, who's a pikach, so in such a case, he could be miyabim her. He can't give chalitza because she's a chereshes. Ma'yasa pikach bal pikachas kaines, and since she's falling from a marriage d'Rabbanan, v'imratza loitzi yaitzi. However, meis pikach bal pikachas, if the pikach who's married to the pikachas dies, and Sarah the pikachas falls to the cheresh, ma'yasa cheresh bal chereshes. So Shimon can't give chalitza because he's a cheresh. He could only do yibam. But since she's falling from a marriage d'oraisa, kaines, he could marry her, miyabim her, he could never divorce her. We want to thank you very much for joining us. Just a note that if you join my Daf Yomi Zoom, this Motzei Shabbos, it's at 7:45. when we Be'ezus Hashem learn Tu Blat. That's at zoomdaf.com. Also, if you are joining us Sunday night, my son is making the Siyam Hashas on Sunday night, so we have a rare event where we're moving the time of the shir to 6:45, just for Sunday evening. Sunday evening, the daf is 6:45 at zoomdaf.com. Also, the shir that I gave for the Zois Chanukah table is available anytime on Kalalosh and on YouTube, as is the Mikate shir, which I gave this week. And we thank you for joining us. Wish you on this Zois Chanukah a Gemar Chasima Tova, a wonderful year, and of course, a very wonderful Shabbos.